Hello, and welcome to my channel. Welcome me back to my own channel. But anyway, I am back. Let's not discuss why I was missing for so long, etc. Through this video, I will tell you. But anyway, hello. I am in a new location right now. I am on a holiday. I am in the hills in a state called Himachal Pradesh near the city called Shimla, and it is actually quite hot. It shouldn't be hot, but there is a heat wave going on right now, so that sucks. So basically, I'm just like in my room and chilling, but my room is quite nice. I will show you later. But anyway, I have been reading again, which is frankly a miracle. And in this small little holiday that I've had, I have finished, well, I'm on my third book, so that's honestly a miracle considering everything before. So I was like, you know what, I feel like vlogging and like talking to you about these books that I've read because I've really liked them, so that's good. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do in this video. Isn't that fun? Anyway, let me talk to you about the book that I am currently reading, and then I will talk to you about the other two books that I have already finished, but maybe I'll do it in a different location, not just the same, so that it adds some spice into this video and my life and your life and whatever. But anyway, the current book that I'm reading is Upstream by Mary Oliver. Mary Oliver is a prolific poet. She writes really well. I am not a person who likes poetry at all actually, but I have seen some videos of her reciting her own poetry and it has been so good. I've been like so I've heard really good things about her and I've been wanting to read her for a long period of time, and this is a book which is a bunch of essays essentially that she has penned down, and I've been wanting to read it for a while now, but I was like, you know what, Smriti, it feels weird to be in Bombay, with like concrete jungle where dreams are made of. That's New York, not Bombay, but it could be. Anyway, it feels weird to read about nature in like a concrete jungle, so I wanted to come to nature to read this book, and that's what I have started doing. So basically I just saved this book till like when I would be on a holiday with like nature stuff, and I'm finally here, so I'm finally reading it, and it is really good because god damn, this woman can write. She says really simple things in really beautiful ways, and I really like that. It is sort of vignette, and it has 4 parts. So far I have gotten to the second part. The last chapter that I read was purely about fish, which I didn't quite like. It was called Blue Pastures, and was talking about like all the fish that she sees and the fishermen and cutting the fish open. And I don't like fish, generally. I'm not whatever. But so that wasn't great. But everything else before that was awesome. It was so well written, and just like she spoke about nature but also literature and how that sort of like grounds her. And I don't know, just the way that she writes is magnificent, and I've been like literally just underlining and doing things on my like book because I don't know, it's just so wonderful to see how she writes and how like her skills are just A1. Anyway, there's that. If you've noticed, I also have blue hair now, so okay. I will come back to you with thoughts on this, but also on thoughts of the other two books that I read, which is Grief is for People by Sloane Crosley and The Wandering Souls by Cecile. So stay tuned for that. Here I thought I would show you the other place that we stayed in. It had this really pretty view and it was really gorgeous all around, but I also thought I'd show you this really funny video. I was trying to get this, but I saw this wasp and I freaked out. But yeah, these are the rains that came through right after I filmed this video. It just poured down, so you could see the cloudburst there, and now no cloudburst here, but it was going to be bad. And these are 2 puppies. They were so cute. They weren't named yet, but look at them. They're fighting over garbage. just like my life, I also fight over garbage men. Yeah. And this is rain. It was really, really pouring. Like just hurtling down rain. Just you can see anything in front of you that you could see before. And as you can see, these two lawn chairs are just left there to rot. So it rained like a crazy person yesterday, which is why I couldn't film any videos outside or anything that I wanted to. So you are going to see me only here. It's fine. But anyway, I am here to talk to you about the first book that I read, which is Grief is for People by Sloane Crosley. Now, I picked up the book because I have personally been dealing with some grief. Not going to get too much into it, but it has not been fun, and which is why I have also been sort of away from this channel. My mental health was not doing so great, but we're okay now, sort of. It's a process. Anyway, I picked up this book because I wanted to read something about the things that I'm going through. I think that's what a lot of us do, that we gravitate towards books that can reflect back the experiences that we are feeling too, to kind of feel sort of less alone in life. And that is what I was looking for. So I found this book. It had just recently come out, and it's about Sloane Crosley, who is, I may be saying her surname very wrong, but anyway, it's about her dealing with the grief of her losing her mentor, best friend, and like ex co-worker of sorts, which is exactly what I went through as well. Yeah, but he died of suicide, but that wasn't, anyway. Yeah, so it's just how she was dealing with it, and just all of that sort of stuff. But also what was interesting about it as well, which added like a different layer to me, was that she was an ex book publicist, and so was Russell, who was the person who passed away. So we got to see like some of the behind the scenes things of like the book publishing world as well. I really liked the relationship that she had with Russell, like her friend, and the way that she sort of explained it. It was very raw, everything that she sort of spoke about. And it's not like a self-help book by any chance. It's not a book that you will read to be like, how do I get over this grief or anything like that. It's a book that just reflects probably the feelings that you go through, or like if you haven't gone through this, then just like it's still a really well written book. And I really liked my time reading it because it just explained the relationship that she had with him so well, and also reflected a lot of like my thoughts back at me. And I had a lot of like realizations where, like, you know, sometimes you can't put words, or like you don't quite realize fully form your thoughts, and then like someone else already has. And that was like, I was just like, oh shit. So I read something and I'm like, is this what I'm also thinking, you know? So yeah, so I think that's why books are good. Because people can, who are way smarter than you, can put and articulate your own thoughts, and then you read them and you're like, oh yes, exactly that, thank you. So yeah, I really, really liked my time reading this book. It wasn't a fun book. It was actually a fun book because she seems like a fun person. But yeah, that is the book that I read. I think I would give this like a 4. I mean, I don't think I can rate a book about someone's grief, honestly. So I don't think I'm gonna rate it, but it was very highly rated for me, is what I'm gonna say. And I do want to read more from her because she has written more books like fictions and essays and stuff like that. So I look forward to doing that. So that is that in terms of the first book that I finished. The second book that I read was a book called The Wandering Souls, or Wandering Souls by Cecile. This book was a book that I've been wanting to read for a while now. It was nominated, I think it was shortlisted or longlisted, one of them, for the Women's Prize last year. And I was really intrigued by it. A lot of people really loved it, and I wanted to check it out as well. So essentially, this book is about a Vietnamese girl. It follows the family really, but it mainly follows this one girl who's about 16 years old when she has to leave Vietnam. This is during, of course, right after the Vietnam War, or like right during, and they're facing the repercussions. And basically, her family decide to leave by boat and get to like Hong Kong, and after that, hopefully get asylum in some other country. So her and her two other brothers are sent off first, and then the rest of her family is to follow. And we see what happens. Now, I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's not okay. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but let's just say that she goes through a lot, and we get to see of her experience during this. Now, it's written in this very vignette-y sort of fashion, like very like incidents at a time, and I really really liked that. I think it gave you a bit of a flavor without it being too like sort of overbearing. It really did a superb job of describing her life, because we don't just get to see her, you know, getting to these camps or then getting resettled in the UK and all of that sort of stuff, but much more about how, like, you know, her life is post as well, and how they sort of deal. And basically what we get to see is that the author has taken her mother's experience, like her real life experiences, and put it into this book and made it in this way. So I thought that it was really touching, because it was sort of like a tribute to her mother and her family and her roots as well. And I understand what that might be like, to be like, I want to understand you even more, and I want to dig into your past, especially being like a first generation immigrant, where you like trying to find out your roots, etc. And I just thought that this was such a lovely way of doing it. I totally teared up many times, because I thought that it was just such a moving way of describing like these familial bonds, but also like things that you're going through. It was very real, and just beautifully written, and just, yeah, I thought that it was really great. I think it also did a great job of like also telling us of like real world things that happened, because there were like chapters where we got to see what Project Wandering Soul was, or we got to see all these different things that happened during the Vietnam War, and also with people who then like seeked asylum post that, and all of that sort of stuff. I thought that it was really interesting. I went and googled a lot of things as well, and I think, I don't know, the thing which I love about books like this is that not only do you get a very like personalized experience of someone, but you also get to learn so much more about history that you probably didn't know before. So yeah, my mom is getting onto her phone right now because our cab driver is late and we don't know where he is. So we are leaving now. And before we head out, I thought I'll show you the room that we were staying in. This is the room. It is messy. That is my mum. It's fine. Hello to her. She is just wrapping up the breakfast that we had, including this amazing cheese that we found locally produced in Himachal. Hi, that's me. That is the TV no one cares about. That is the bed where I was just filming, hence the tripod. But yeah, this is a desk and chair where I romanticize that I would sit and like write a book or something, but we all know that's not gonna happen. But this is the balcony that I sat at a lot. I really liked it. I liked this one lone tree and the greys and blues behind, and it was just a fun vibe. But now we are on to a place called Naar, which is an amazing Michelin-esque restaurant which uses all the local produce from places around it and uses it as an inspiration to then create like Michelin level sort of shit. So we had a 15-course meal, including this thing which was this fish with something. Oh my god, it was just nuts. Everything was just like simple but like elegant and like beautiful. Like this is just like some foam which was in some flavor over some fish with some like Kashmiri mirch like thing. I don't know, this was like noodles with like some lamb, but it was so good. And the drinks, oh my god, the drinks were next level. It was like paired with the food. This is, I was trying to show you the Naar logo on top of the ice, but it's fine. We were just in love with everything that we ate there. It is such an amazing experience, and wow, what a journey we went on with the food and the drinks. It was absolutely one of the best meals that I've had in my life. This was one of my favorite things that I had. The pork belly with this like khichdi sort of thingy from Kashmir, because the chef is from Kashmir. And this is this like peach sorbet sort of thingy. It was grilled peaches with chai peach ice cream. Doesn't look like much, but it is amazing. So we are clearly no longer in the hills, but that meal lives rent-free in my brain. That meal will forever live rent-free in my brain. But I am here to talk to you about the book that I finished. Not in the hills, but like back in the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, which is Upstream by Mary Oliver. Now, this one I have mixed feelings about, not because of the writing, because the writing is holy shit, I don't think people can write like this. It's insane. But because of the content, because there is an entire section, which is section 3, which is about authors that I have never read because they are poets. So be it Emerson or Edgar Allan Poe, who I should actually read, or Whitman or Wordsworth. Yeah, it was a solid chunk of this book. And I was just like, I have never like really consumed their work, so I don't really have any idea of what exactly you're talking about. You may be talking about them really, really well, you know, but it wasn't something that I was very excited to read at that point of time. But section 4, so good. So section 4, there is, I have never looked at spiders, and I don't think I will look at spiders the same way after, or like the way that she described, just like how she was observing the spider, and like how I don't know, she's just so cool. And like there was this girl that she took in that was injured, and it was just like, it was this really sweet, the way that she interacts with nature, and the way that you can clearly feel how much she feels for nature and the things around them, and like just beings in our midst, you know. It made me want to go back to the hills. And yeah, I think that it was great that I got to read this in the hills. It was a really good book. I want to read more from her. Especially, there is, what I've realized is that a lot of the essays are taken from other bits of her books. So like this is just like one part and of many. So I really want to read Dog Songs, which is poems and like little essays that she's written, because there's this one small essay called Rope, about her dog, which was Ropes. I was just like, oh, so sweet, so sweet. So yeah, I really want to read more from her. So if you have read Mary Oliver, do tell me what to read next. But I definitely want to check out Dog Songs because it sounds amazing. I love dogs, and I just love her writing. But overall, I think with this, even though I really, really, really enjoyed her writing, overall as a essay collection, would I recommend it? If you like poetry already and you have read Emerson and Wordsworth and Poe and all of these people, you might really, really enjoy it. But if you haven't, then you might be a bit confused in section 3. But other than that, I thought that it was a really, really, really solid book. Again, also hats off to the publisher for really good quality paper. Just, it's amazing. So yeah, would definitely recommend this. I think I would still give this a 4-star. And yeah, that's that. In terms of the other books that I read, I have decided to give them stars, because now that I think about it, I think that they both are 5 stars. Yay! So Wandering Soul for me is a 5-star, as well as Grief is for People is also a 5-star. Both of them are books that have stayed with me for a long, long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. And I hope that you check out all 3 of these books, because I think they're all bangers. So yeah, yes, but she's getting her groove back. She's getting her groove back. All right, I'm gonna stop now, but that is all for this week's videos. I hope that you enjoy. And I was a little vulnerable in this one, so you know, it's fine. But okay, I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye. Love you.